Sometimes we are allowed by grace and circumstance to share in a moment we helped create, yet is not ours, that stretches out beyond us in reach and time, the fruit of many, the work of years. Now is such a moment. We pause to mark a milestone, a coming of age of sorts, long sought and imagined, a moment that, arriving, invites celebration, yet also leaves us wondering, was this what we were striving for? This number, this billion. Now, a billion is a big number and a huge thing, more than most of us can comprehend. If you could raise $1 every second of every hour of every day, it would take you just 11 days to reach $1 million. But at that same relentless rate of $1 every second of every hour of every day, to reach $1 billion would take you another 32 years. That's how much, how improbably big $1 billion is. That's how big this moment is. Still, one might fairly ask, does it really matter? We are grateful, of course, for this growth, for what it lets us do out in the world, a little bit more to give in communities so rife still with want and need. But what does it change? When we tell people we've passed the $1 billion mark, they applaud every time and announce it in headlines, as though the number carries a kind of magic inside itself. But we know better. This billion of ours hasn't suddenly endowed us with a sorcerer's powers. The place we love still has needs vastly outstripping our ability to respond. So what are we celebrating? What does it really mean, this billion, impressive though it might sound? It is just a number after all. And what is in a number? Maybe we should ask ourselves, which number? Would we discount 2 so easily, the number of years since we began, the number of days this foundation has stood ready to help those in need? Or how about the number of donors whose giving has made this billion possible? Of funds they have created here, of living donors and advisors working with us today, or maybe the number of deferred funds that will benefit future generations, or the percent of donors who have entrusted the future purpose of their funds to this foundation's discretion. Inside our billion are so many other numbers, each one unlocking a treasure of its own. There is the number of board members who have served us over time and who guide us now, of staff who have lent us their talents and those who still do so now. Start down this path and the numbers keep coming. How many organizations have we funded since we began? How many did we fund last year? How much money have we given away? How much of this money stays here at home, helping organizations in our community? How many nonprofits have we helped through Pittsburgh Gives, and how much have we raised for them through our days of giving? From how many donors joining us in our festivals of online philanthropy? How many children have been able to attend college thanks to the Pittsburgh Promise? How many Promise Scholars have graduated? How much did we raise for hungry families through our Hunger Initiative and for agencies drowning in need through Neighbor Aid? How many lives have we touched? Follow the numbers long enough and out there somewhere beyond numbers, beyond counting, you find other treasures. The determination of a community to fix what's broken, to hold itself accountable, to help its children learn in new ways, to clean its air, to care for its vulnerable. You find, too, the joy of a community coming together to celebrate giving, to rediscover its beauty, to restore its iconic pride, to celebrate art, to lift up new artists and heed neglected voices. And out there, beyond the numbers, in the smiles of children, in the hopes of a community, in countless lives touched, in the sustained leadership of this one singular community resource, you begin to see it, the answer to the question, what really is in a number? You are, and I am, and so is everyone who has ever touched this place, or one day will in a future none of us can see, with the gift of whatever they had or have to give. And so too is everyone who was ever helped by this place, or someday will be, who in their receiving give us the gift we all seek, to matter, to make a difference. count. This billion of ours isn't a destination, never was. A number was never where we were heading. A number is just a number, just a milestone on a journey that doesn't end here and doesn't end with us, just as it didn't begin here or begin with us. But that's the point. Every one of us, when we joined here, was handed a baton and asked to carry it forward. One day it will come our turn to hand the baton on, and others will carry it to new heights, to new numbers, and perhaps they too might wonder what significance lies in that accounting. Perhaps they too might learn what we have discovered, that inside this number of ours, stretching across the ever-changing hours, swept along in the rush of time, but never undone by it, constant, is a kind of magic after all. The magic of a community willing to invest in its hurting and forgotten, its neglected spaces, its hidden gems, its worthiest dreams. The magic that comes from loving a place and each other enough to offer our hand unbidden across the unseen years, and there to lightly touch what is best in our own hearts. So if you will forgive me, that, my friends, is what's in a number, and that will have to do.